Information, inspiration, motivation, conscientisation et surtout distraction. Gardez tout, votre favori avec Flore. Gardez tout, qui produit Radio TV que vous regardez et gardez on dit net.
I'm your surgeon, Dr. Roman Joseph.
This show is brought to you by Jeff Hess, attorney at law. 305-255-2797. Ça, c'est avocat PAM. Jeff Hess, spécialisé dans accident machine. Ou glisser ou tomber dans la rue, dans maquette, avocat pour les cougner là, c'est Jeff Hess. 305-255-2797. Jeff también habla español. 305-255-2797. Allo avocat Zaz et Jeff. Ma fralerie les cougner là. 305-255-2797. Professional business consultant and a radio host. Our services range from advertising, marketing, hosting, and event planning. Call me right now, 786-521-7321. Nous vous offrons des services en français, en anglais, en espagnol et en créole. Relez-moi dans 786-521-7321. Votre mariage, des activités sociales, débats, commentaires, ça c'est nous. 786-521-7321. Bonjour, bonsoir. Bienvenue à une nouvelle sortie de Radio TV avec Dr. Flore. Radio TV, c'est radio et télévision combinées ensemble. Radio TV is that platform where I invite people to really have a sincere conversation. Then today it gives me great pleasure as we are preparing for November 3rd to really have a sincere dialogue in politics and with women, with Caribbean women, and also Latin American women. I'm Dr. Flore Lindor-Latortue. Thank you for joining us today. Then I have my two sisters here, and we were gonna be four of us, and I need to really wave to you Marlon Hill of Jamaican descent, a brother, a Caribbean, if I can say it like that, a Caribbean American. Then Marlon has to excuse himself because of an emergency, a family emergency. However, during the conversation with the ladies, I will acknowledge him one more time. How are you ladies? How are you guys doing?
Well, I am so happy because like you said at the beginning, hello everybody to all the people that are watching you now. I am so happy to be sharing your program with two people, two women that I love, two sisters, and I feel home, I feel welcome, and yeah, Dr. Flore, let's have this sincere conversation.
Hey, Elizabeth, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing? I'm so happy to be here this afternoon, this Tuesday, and it's an honor to be with sisters and with people that are leader of the community, and at the same time, you know, share this conversation that have been waiting for a long time. I'm sorry that I get interrupted. That's part of having have the transmission by the cellular phone. Anyway, the thing is that I'm very happy. Thank you for inviting me. And of course, I mean, this is going to be a very nice conversation between leaders of the community here in Miami. And I hope that everybody who is in this transmission, it could enjoy, be part of it. Thank you.
Very good. Elizabeth and Leonarda Duran, Dr. Duran, and I, the three of us, we consider ourselves women American, women Haitian American for my part, and you, Dr. Duran?
I am Dominican American.
And you,
I'm a
Elizabeth?
woman, but we're women first.
Yes. How about you,
I
Elizabeth?
was born in the Dominican Republic. I say that my heart is Dominican, but the blood that take the oxygen to every organ of my body is from the United States of America. So yeah, I am a Dominican American.
How about you, Elizabeth?
Well, I have to tell you that I'm Puerto Rican, but at the same time, obviously, we have the United States citizens, so our conditions are totally different than the Hispanic community. So I am Puerto Rican, American, Puerto Rican, United citizens.
Very good. I will start with you, Elizabeth. For people who do not know much of Puerto Rico, why are we referring to Puerto Rico as a Commonwealth state?
Well, since maybe 190 years ago, we have been, with this agreement of the Act of Jones, the Jones Act. And obviously, just because of this, we have the United States citizens. So we have an agreement directly with the United States, the federal government, that our shipments and customs are directly from United States of America. That's why we pay the 20% more than the regular basis in United States.
Then, pour moun kap gade, c'est yon dialogue kap fait avec trois amis. Elisabeth qui de Puerto Rico, Dr. Duran qui de Saint-Domingue et puis moi-même qui haïtienne. Mais Puerto Rico, nous connaissons yon état, j'avais dit en anglais Commonwealth, qui pas fait partie de 50 étoiles que nous avons sous drapeau, mais qui c'est un État associé à États-Unis. Et Jean-Elisabeth dit son arrangement qu'il a depuis plus de 100 ans. It's election season. And yesterday, October 5th, was supposed to be the last day to register to vote. However, they had some glitches in the system and they have an extension. They extended it until tonight, 7 p.m. Then case we've been advocating in the community for, me, I've been in Miami for 28 years. How long have you been here, Dr. Raduran?
Well, I arrived to this wonderful nation that has always been great, at least to me until now. February 10th, 1987. I've never forgot, and I will never forget that date. So my husband and me, he's an American from Buffalo, New York. We came over here and we live in Miami Beach in Collins Avenue. And it was very foreign to me because even though I spoke English, it was very hard for me to, for people to understand me because of course my heavy accent, which I still have an accent, but I'm so proud of it. And from now, I just been living in this country and going through a lot in this country, good and bad, but we raise a family in this nation.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Elizabeth? How long you've been here in the U.S.?
Always.
Yes, that's a good question because for
All the time.
She was born here.
All the
I said
time.
always. I like that, and that's why.
But I have that condition that I can speak in English and Spanish too, so it's okay, not a problem.
That's excellent. OK. Ouais, ça dit que Elisabeth, si li bien répond, si c'est Puerto Rico le fait, li toujours la
Right.
pays. OK. Then we believe in voting because it's very important. But Puerto Ricans, Elizabeth, they cannot vote in all elections. I don't think you guys can vote in primaries based on the contracts. Why is that?
Right. Obviously, because of the 2.9 million Puerto Ricans who are living in the island directly, they just have the permits to legally, vote for our governor, but not in United States. As soon as the Puerto Rican can migrate or come here to the United States of America and then have a residence, they can start voting for the presidential election. So this is something that is going on through a lot of years, and we have been fighting for, to do something about it, because we are representing the 2.9 million Puerto Ricans in the United States. So it's our responsibility here in the United States that the 2.9 have been doing good, or whatever happened to them in the island, we're responsible economically, cultural, and in development, everything. We're responsible of the 2.9.
2.9 Puerto Rican, that millions, 2.9 millions. Yesterday, former Vice President Joe Biden visited Little Haiti. And this was a request that the Haitian community had. Then the visit was appreciated because you ladies, it's easier for your community. Now, I'm just gonna refer to you as Latin American, Latinas. It's easy. It's like regardless who's the candidate or the party, they always go to Versailles or go to the Dominicans or go to Puerto Ricans. And they always leave out the Haitians, except in 2016, as you know. Hillary stopped by for a short time, and President Trump came to Little Haiti, referred to himself as a champion. Then I wanted to share that at least it's historically that I think we are even when it comes to candidate giving us respect our votes. Then how do you feel about that, Elizabeth? Me, I'm very, very proud to refer also to the Haitian votes, but also to the Puerto Rican votes, because I live and have some ties with Puerto Rico. Then how do you guys negotiate your vote?
Well, in this moment, which is very important that the Puerto Rican register, obviously we don't have no more time, but the people who are registered for vote, the 5.6 million Puerto Ricans that live in the United States, is a big responsibility that, as I said before, of the 2.9 in the island, because they cannot vote for the presidential election. So what I think about this year is totally different than the others, just because of the economic situation of Puerto Rico. Why? Because obviously in 2017, we have, like, can I say it in Spanish? Because this is very Dominican, los tres golpes. So we have in 2017, if you can translate that to your community.
You received 3 hits, 3 natural.
No, but
in French, because I don't know French.
Okay.
But the thing is that we received the tres golpes at the same time.
Tres patadas.
Yeah. The first one was the bankrupt, and then Hurricane Irma, and then Maria. And as everybody knows, that hit very, very hard. We have around 4,645 dead people in this hurricane. And we suffer a lot. We spend around 3 months like crazy.
We thought lives.
In the entire United States, just working for trying to help Puerto Rico. So I have been very involved directly with the helps to the island. And actually today is October 6th. 2 years ago, I received a recognition from Global Empower Mission, a day like today. They recognize all the leaders that have been working through those days, month, like 2 or 3 months that we were working hard to get all these donations for the island, to help the island. So today is a very special day for me. I remember, because today, you know, those things that come out in Facebook that remember you, the hard work came out this morning. That was like surprising me. Okay, this was a very special day because our people here in Miami, they recognize them. I don't know if you know this organization, Global Empower Mission, and they help the entire world. I mean, this is not only for United States of America. They work with South Florida, Central Florida, I mean, the Central America, South America, Europe. You can see these people helping out everywhere. And they help out our organization and our leaders. And they do today, I mean, this day, 2 years ago, we were in a big party celebrating all the helps that we work hard in those days. But I feel good and I trust the Puerto Rican. We are in South Florida. We are 1.6 million Puerto Ricans. And in the United States, we are 5.6. So I believe on those that are registered for vote. Not all of them are registered for vote, but a lot of them, they are, you know, maybe the 90% of the Puerto Ricans are registered for vote. And I know that they're going to vote because they are responsible of the 2.9 millions in the island. We represent them and I trust in my people. They need to go out and vote.
And I will follow like you. Même Joël dit, c'est Puerto Ricain yo ap sorti pour voter, et bien Haïtien yo tout, c'est pour nous sorti voter. Now, how serious do Dominicans take the vote, Dr. Duran?
Well, I am very proud this year because Dominicans usually, in Miami, we are 100,000 Dominicans. And that 100,000, 98% of them can vote. They are American citizens. And we have 500,000 to 600,000 Dominicans in Florida. The problem with the Dominican community is that they get involved a lot in local politics in the Dominican Republic, and then have, you know, caused divisions among Dominicans, depending on what party they belong to. But this year, I am very happy because we have all come together and reunited, and we had an amazing caravan. I've never seen so many Dominicans together doing a caravan for an American president. So we have over 200 cars. And now I think that we're opening our eyes. I mean, we live in this country. Our children live in this country. And I don't think that none of them are planning to go back soon and retire in the Dominican Republic, because when you have a granddaughter, grandson, and your roots are here. So it's not like in New York. USA politics, but here we are working very hard. At least we have a group of 125 Dominicans that communicate every single day to do the outreach, because they know how important it is to for all of us, for Latinos, and I'm going to include all the Caribbean because we're all Latinos, to vote and to vote for Biden and Harris. And I'm going to dissent a little bit. I think the outreach to the Latino community has been very poor, very, very poor for both parties. And I've heard Kamala Harris said something that touched my heart, because she was asked, what are you going to do with the Latino votes? That's when the Biden-Harris campaign was, where they were having problems with the Latino votes. And the answer was what I wanted to, and I've never heard. She said, we are going to earn the Latino vote. And yes, because we are the biggest minority in the United States of America, and our vote counts. It's not just when there is election time that they come over and knock our doors. And I've been saying that for years in my own party, the Democratic Party, that the outreach should be constant, that the leaders and I think that right now, when we see who's in the White House, I think that Latino voters became more aware of the danger that we are facing in this nation.
One of the reasons that I'm enjoying that conversation with us, it's because these elections, no group can make it happen individually. Like Latins, los latinos solo no pueden hacer ganar nadie, los haitianos solo no pueden hacer ganar nadie, los puertorriqueños solos. Then I think we need people to respect people's differences, but we want people to join forces. Like, for example, I join your caravanas, and I think I need to hear from Elizabeth, and we need...
Hey, you were part of the Democratic Hispanic Caucus.
Yes,
and when I
exactly.
Latinos,
Then that's what makes us...
all the Latin American, South American, Caribbean,
exactly.
everything from Mexico down. We are Latinos. Yeah.
Nicaraguans.
Yeah.
Because that's how we're gonna heal America, and that's how we're gonna be able to make a difference. However, like you said, and I'm happy you said it, that the Dominicans, not all of them are Democrats. It's the same thing with the Haitians. Not all Haitians are Democrats, but we have to really respect each other's differences and be able to have those kind of dialogue. Myself, I am voting for Biden. I'm not telling everybody to vote for him, but it's my choice. Mm-hmm. You know, as a woman, as a professional woman, and as someone who do not feel comfortable with someone who referred to my country as a shade hole country, you know, then and my vote will be based on issues also. Student loans. I still have a very, very high amount of that I owe in student loan, and also healthcare. I have a heart condition, then I have pre-existing condition. Then someone vote has to be something of interest. And one of the reasons I think Elizabeth will be the next one to talk, it's because she's gonna highlight us about the interests of Puerto Rico now. Then what is it that is important for Puerto Rico? Do the candidates are paying attention to that? Are they paying attention to what she said? Los 3 golpes que recibió Puerto Rico. Then the vote cannot be something, okay, Florecita es dominicana, or haitiana, or Doctora Duran, dominicana, and we all have to agree on everything. No, we don't have to see it like that. You have to see your own interest. Then, Elizabeth, where is your interest this year? Where does Puerto Rico stand? And for people to really listen and see what they will do.
Don't worry, it's okay. I completely understand. And it's a situation where put me in the middle of two of my big sisters like you. But right now, obviously, I have to talk about Puerto Rico and talk about my community and talk about what is good for my community and my people. I'm not talking about only Elizabeth. I'm talking about representing our community. And as part of Latino community and part of the Hispanic community, I completely understand that we are going to agree to disagree in some of these political situation about Trump or Biden. Mm-hmm. But the truth is, for the Puerto Rican, is that since 1989, we haven't received enough money for the island. That's the real thing. And we cannot, maybe some of the Puerto Ricans are going to disagree with me, but most of them are agreed on the situation that the island needs the money to our economy. So as we haven't received the money, this kind of money since 1989, and we have been seeing all this money come directly to the island, obviously that Puerto Rico are gonna restructure all the economy, starting by the pharmacy industry and the manufacturing industry, and actually the $15 billion that Puerto Rico already received is going to help out the energy system of the island that we have been struggling since 2017, and 10 of these 15 are going to be directly to the energy system, and then the other 3 billions are going to go straight ahead to the manufacturing industry. So this is very, very
I know at
important.
one point, Elizabeth, I know at one point, was it last year, that the people of Puerto Rico, that they had like a referendum because they were not happy with the governor. And now
Yes, the
city mayors.
so now in the new elections for the new government of Puerto Rico, for the new governor of Puerto Rico.
And who's the new
people are
governor now?
They're gonna re-elect. They're gonna have a big question if they want to be a state of United States of America or if not. So
And when would that happen?
This is gonna be around the 5th time of this plebiscite, and usually all of them, people wants to be part of state of United States of America. So the Puerto Rican are very clear about this. And so I'm sure that they're going to vote again. And, it's going to be the same thing. People in Puerto Rico, most of them, they really want to be part of the United States of America. They want to be a state. So.
And when are those elections? We
are waiting because it's not going to be at the same time of here, just because of everything they have been through the COVID-19, so they have been in a situation too. So probably in 2 more months, they're going to be in an election of the new governor of Puerto Rico.
In 2021.
That's right.
Okay. Then Elizabeth se puso muy gentil, doctora Duran. Es para decir que como...
I'm not saying straight ahead because
she's not saying straight ahead, but I'm going to tell you exactly. A mis haitianos,
but the real thing
a mis haitianos que hablan español y a mis latinos, quiero que vean este ejemplo, que somos 3 mujeres bien educadas, bien respetuosas, que hemos tenido nuestras diferencias, pero hay amor y respeto. Diferencias cuando me acerqué de la doctora Durán en el tiempo de cuando su gobierno estaba mandando para atrás los haitianos dominicanos. Esos son puntos bien sensitivos en la política. Then this is a tough time for you to still be friends with someone which president was sitting back your own brothers and sisters, and they were born in Santo Domingo. And I'm here with Elizabeth. My daughter is Puerto Rican, and his daughter is Puerto Rican. Then Puerto Rican. Then we are together thinking about the importance of elections. Me, I am full-blown Biden now, but Elizabeth is not saying anything. But I'm getting her message. She is Puerto Rican now because whatever government that is there, they still do not give the Puerto Rican the right to be like a state. And I understand and I hear you. And I believe that whoever's watching this show can really, really pay attention to the Caribbean votes and do not take it for granted, because you will not see a show like that, not even in CNN. You would have to really bring the 3 of us together. Plus, you have Marlon Hill, that is a great Caribbean. Then putting all those resources together those are million votes that you need to really assess. And also, like Elizabeth said, they struggle. Okay, they had 3 hits, and Haiti also was hit in 2010 with the earthquake. And
I want to say
Yes.
that, Dr. Flore,
Yes.
con permiso, you know, I know ha habido diferencias. We have difference between Dominican Republic and Haiti, but we consider you our brothers and sisters. I think when you talk about the earthquake, the first country that helped Haiti was Dominican Republic. We opened our frontiers. I remember seeing, I went there to serve. I remember seeing Dominican women feeding brand Haitian babies. I mean, giving meal, breastfeeding babies. And I think that we should be, with globalization, I think that we should all be called human beings. That is what I believe in. And I believe in all getting together and accepting each other with differences because we are not equal. But what we need to know is that we have rights, and those rights need to be respected in this country. And we need to be the voice of the voiceless, because, I mean, Elizabeth is a leader of the Puerto Rican community. You are a leader of the Haitian community. I'm a leader of the Dominican Latino community.
And Marlon also for the Caribbean.
Marlon from the Jamaican American. And I think that if we have the opportunity to talk about the needs of the Latino community, and I'm including the Caribbean, you know, because I'm Caribbean, but I'm including the Caribbean with it as well, is that we all care about the same problems that the American citizens born in the United States. I mean, we don't come to this country just, we're not all undocumented. We don't come over here just to work in the fields and do, no, we are professionals. We give to this country a lot. I mean, even the undocumented, I mean, $185 billion a year, you know, so we have to fight, because if we don't do it, nobody else will do it.
And also, I don't want people to refer to us as socialists, because the fact that our countries have certain issues, then for me it's not socialism, because we all were hit by earthquake, and that is called climate change. And in the issue of climate change, Puerto Rico spent 3 months without electricity, no?
They spend around 4 months in the capital area, and then in the mountains, there's some places where they're still struggling without water and without electricity. So this help, this $15 billion that they are receiving right now, they go straight ahead directly to the energy system to help out Puerto Rico in the area, which have been struggling since Maria and Irma, earthquake and COVID-19.
But that shouldn't happen. That I mean, you're a Commonwealth. So Puerto Rico, and I am going to put on my Puerto Rican skin because you're my sister. Puerto Rico, being a Commonwealth of the United States of America, this country has a responsibility, because Puerto Rico, as a country, have given a lot to the United States of America. Los puertorriqueños y la isla de Puerto Rico ha dado mucho a este país, y eso hay que reconocerlo. Y se deben tratar y tener la misma oportunidad, el mismo respeto, el mismo derecho, y no puede tratarse Puerto Rico en ningún momento, bajo ningún gobierno, se debe permitir que las cosas que pasaron en Puerto Rico con esos 3 golpes que tú dijiste, sigan pasando. Así es
And
que
when- and then
no sé
that-
cuándo van a hacer el referéndum, ojalá. que sea
November 3rd.
Ah, okay. And anybody,
que se pueda definir esa
nada más los
situación,
puertorriqueños pueden votar
porque ustedes se lo merecen.
en el referéndum o todo el mundo. Elizabeth. ¿Me oyes?
Ahora, there you go. I hear you now.
Okay. November 3rd, people.
Yeah, but this is a situation where she was talking about that we have the same, we haven't been treated the same.
Yeah.
But it's a situation where we have to make a decision on the 2.9 million Puerto Ricans that they need to go out and vote. At the same time, as I said before, when we were in Obama elections, administration, obviously they take out the pharmaceutical industrial in Puerto Rico, which was very important. I didn't want to talk about this because, you know, it's something
we
that...
need to.
Well, listen, we're free to talk about wherever we want.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to, you know, go straight ahead, but was the situation of Puerto Rico very hard because we were very, very dependable of the pharmacies industries in Puerto Rico. And now we got it back. So it's something that we cannot not mention. We have it back. And that is going to, you know, start...
Boost the economy.
It's going to
Boost the economy. That's going to attract more tourism, okay? Because Puerto Rico always has tourism. And also, I always remember that the tax is always better than the United States. When we go to Puerto Rico, whatever we buy, it's cheaper. Then the same way they go...
No, it's not cheaper.
Huh?
It's very expensive. It's 20% more.
Okay, now it changes because in Haiti, the good has no value. You're right. I thought I see the price in Haiti of the cost of living is like triple up because like a pound of milk is like $7 US in a third world country where we...
Maybe the question about both of you, which are my sisters, is about this conversation in talking directly about Puerto Rico is why they have this division. And maybe everybody is like a little bit like lost in this conversation. And it's that Puerto Rico is, as Dominican Republic and as Haiti, they're managing different parties. So Puerto Rico is managing 3 parties in the island. You know, PNP, Partido No Progresista, Populares, and Independents. The independent people never have been in the government of Puerto Rico, obviously. That is part of this conversation. But we have so many people here that they're moving and they really want to take action in the independence of Puerto Rico, that I just leave them in their sides trying hard because we have to respect them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Those you can leave them for me.
I lost all of them.
Then those Puerto Ricans...
The question here in Puerto Rico is they need to go out and vote and make out
their own
decision of what they really want. So when we get all together here, the 5.6 million Puerto Ricans, and they make up their minds of what they really want to do for Puerto Rico, we're going to win.
Okay.
Elizabeth, you said that you paying taxes 20% for every item. If I go to Puerto Rico and I buy a dress, I have to pay 20% in taxes?
More
oh my God.
Their regular.
Oh my God. That is very abusive. Extremely.
I'm not against. I'm saying the truth of Puerto Rico because there's a lot of people who talk about Puerto Rico, but the real situation of the Puerto Ricans is inside of the island. The 2.9 are living this situation. Utuado is living a hard situation right now. There are people. If you go with a little ball or a little toy, And you have to see those image of those little kids in Utuado when you go with little balls or toys or like regular toys, they see you as an angel.
Wow.
And I'm not
I
talking
didn't
about,
know.
I'm not talking about a computer or a cellular phone. I'm talking about just a little toy.
I didn't know that the situation in Puerto Rico was so precarious, to be
Oh
honest
no,
with you.
it
Yo no
is tough.
sabía.
It is tough.
Yo no sabía que se estaba pasando tanto trabajo en Puerto Rico, de verdad
Sí.
que no.
Sí,
Y
por los 2 años que acaban de pasar, los 2 últimos años, de 2018 a 2020, Puerto Rico ha sufrido bastante, Haití ha sufrido bastante, Santo Domingo está mejor probablemente porque tuvieron unas elecciones un poquito democráticas, parece, entonces le felicitamos. But at the end, we brought that conversation to all of you watching to let you know you need to get out and vote. And me, I know I am a pro-Biden. Dr. Duran, I don't know where you're standing. Elizabeth.
I'm a Democrat. I'm staying with Biden and Harris.
Okay.
Clear.
Elizabeth is staying with Puerto Rico because they are working on billions of dollars that they needed for a long time ago. And
As I said before, I'm sorry that I interrupt. I shouldn't be interrupting. But Puerto Rico is a separate case. It's not the same as the Hispanic community, which I respect and I love them, all of them. My respect to all of you. But the situation of Puerto Rico is when we go to indirectly to Congress, we need both of the parties. And if you choose one, it's not that you're against nobody. In reality, we are trying to help out Puerto Rico because our bill in the Congress needs to be, passed by both parties. So we need both parties at the same time. When we need money in Congress, in Washington, in the Capitol, believe me, we need both of them to approve it. So what happened this year is simple. 7 Democrats was against our bill of the $515 billion that we need in Puerto Rico, and 2 Republicans says yes. So what can I say? I'm sorry.
Me, moving forward, I want everybody that is humankind to really think of the over 400,000 families that have been separated due to TPS. Then that's where both parties gonna come as well. But for now, whoever canceled TPS is not
responsible.
Democratic people.
Irresponsible.
Then, son los republicanos que no quieren, que quieren separar las familias. Then please, children needs to stay with their parents. And those that are in the border with Brazil and also Chile, not able to get their paper processed for asylum, those are people who are hurting. And those are very, very important cases. And deportation, when those countries still do not have the infrastructure, deporting people that are also positive with COVID, those are the issues that are very important to my community, the Asian community, the Latin, because we
then the Nicaraguan, the
American as well, and the Caribbean,
awesome.
and that's why I enjoy that dialogue, ladies. And para terminar, then I will start with you, Doctora Duran. What is your message of inspiration, tu mensaje de inspiración para nosotros, mujeres latinoamericanas, caribeñas? What is your message?
I do have a message, and we as women, we can change the world. I think the feminine energy is the one that have the key. So I always say this phrase, chromosome XX power. Yo creo que el poder del cromosoma XX, que es el que tenemos las mujeres, porque hemos parido la mitad de la humanidad y somos más de la mitad de la humanidad, podemos hacer un cambio. Yo creo que nosotros, si nos unimos todas, desde pequeñitos enseñemos a nuestros hijos lo que es bueno, lo que es malo, y la educación comienza en el hogar. Ahora, es importante que your civic engagement, you need to go out and vote. vote, because the only voice that you have is your vote. And the only right that you have to obtain the TPS, to obtain the immigration reform for the dreamers is with your vote. We have to stop talking about that. We are enough people to change that, but we have to get out and vote. That's my only message. I don't care who you vote for. Of course, I prefer you vote for Biden and Harris, but whoever, vote, because your presence is important. In politics, for politicians, the only thing that matters is how many votes they can count. So thank you, Dr. Flore, for having us here. It's been a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you, Elizabeth. And I think that we should get together more often and talk about all these topics that are so important for our communities.
No, we should get together like we used to do and go to restaurants and have some self-care time after November 3rd, because we spend so much energy to see if we can change the world. Then I think we have to connect. I'm praying for COVID to go away. Extraño los restaurantes italianos.
I know.
Okay, Elizabeth, your turn for your inspiration.
Well, I believe that we are a democratic country, nation, thanks God. And I'm so proud of it, of being American, because America is the door to all the entire world. It's not only to the Hispanic community. Even though when the Europeans want to come, we have open doors. So these elections are very, very important. These elections we're voting for a home, for a house. I didn't see it just like that. We are voting for our house. And our house is this nation. And I don't see it like we're fighting each other because who's going to win in this election, particularly in 2020. I believe in you, that you have a little bit of, intelligence to notice that international, we're voting for a president who can go and die for us, who can put his mind, brain, and body to defend our nation. So I believe on those who's going to be out on November 3rd. Go out and vote for a person that is going to be the person who's going to guide us as a president, and the president who's going to defend our nation in the right way. That is the president that you should go out and vote. He's not going to, that person cannot be in a position where they could be allowing other nations to come out and let us know what we have to do. So that's the guy that you have to vote, because we are United States of America, and we should be all the time the first nation of the world.
In conclusion, I love the word of inclusion, because together we can accomplish a lot. Together we can be a great global image, not just a facade. Whether you are born in Haiti, Santo Domingo, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, we are humankind, and I'm urging you to get out and vote. Ladies, I love you, and
love you more. Thank you.
And stay in touch. It was a pleasure for us to really connect in Creole, English, and Spanish. Mucho amor. Hasta la próxima.
Bye.
Bye.